Anika, are you listening to me? You are going to be a mother, Anika. Anika was slowly beginning to regain consciousness. Then upon hearing these words of the doctor, 18-year-old Anika's weak eyes suddenly became wide. She was not able to understand how she could become pregnant. Not even 24 hours had passed since her marriage and no boy had touched her till date. In such a situation, how can Anika be pregnant? As shocked as Anika was, her father was equally shocked, who was standing there in the doctor's cabin as if sensing the coming storm. Then the doctor said to Gautam, "Look, Mr. Gautam Guleria, I can understand that both of you must be very worried at this time. But before you guys take any decision, let me tell you one thing, that the pregnancy has crossed 4 months, so abortion is out of the question." Anika felt that the doctor must have made some mistake, so while standing with the support of the nurse, a weak Anika gathered some strength and scolded the doctor, "What are you saying? This is impossible." But before the doctor could say anything, Gautam came to Anika in a fit of anger and slapped her hard. And he said, "It is not for the doctor to answer this, but for you to answer, shameless." After some time outside the hospital, Gautam, who usually sits on the back seat of the car, today made Anika sit behind him and sat on the seat next to the driver, as if by doing this he was expressing his displeasure to Anika. Anika knew that being a daughter, today she had given her father the biggest sorrow in the world by becoming an unmarried mother. He would not have felt so sad even after the passing of Anika's mother. But despite knowing all this, Anika was not physically or mentally capable of doing anything at the moment. Her body was frozen on the back seat of the car with weakness as well as shame. Manali is a very beautiful city of India. The city remains vibrant due to the tourists coming here from India and abroad. But Anika felt as if today every person in Manali was asking her only one question with questioning eyes: who is the father of this child? But even Anika did not have the answer to this. She was thinking only one thing with moist eyes, that when till date no boy had even touched her, how could she get pregnant? Anika was in the same dilemma when her car entered her house through a very big gate. That gate was very old and had a picture of a forest on it. Guleria House was a British era house. It was said that officials of England used to come here for vacation. The house had old but wonderful antiques, a big garden, and a fountain in the middle. But due to not being maintained properly, the house was looking a bit barren for the last few years. As soon as Gautam entered the house, he angrily threw Anika's reports on the sofa and with his hands on his head, started pacing here and there in the hall like a roaring lion. Anika entered the house following Gautam with a weak body and heavy steps. Today Anika felt that her body was a little heavier than usual. By the way, Anika's weight was at least 3 times more than that of girls of her age. The round, plump face, thick belly, and chin were so heavy that Anika's entire neck would be hidden. People often compare 120 kilograms Anika with a sack full of grains. But as fat as Anika's body was, her face was equally innocent and cute. Her cheeks were as soft and white as if one rasgulla had been applied on both sides of her face. Her nose was always red because of the cold, and her 2 eyes were made as if they were filled with innocence. But till date no one has seen his innocent face. All that was visible was his shapeless and formless body. What Anika, a motherless child, needed most today was her father's emotional support. That's why Anika had moved towards Gautam with moist eyes when Gautam roared at her in a heavy Pahari voice, "We barely got a chance to make our lives a little better. You were the lucky one, a returned heir of the Dogra family. You were married to Kunal Dogra. Do you know how powerful are those people? Dogras, the most powerful family of Manali. They had rescued us from all our debts, pending court cases, and all our problems. But within 24 hours of marriage you turned our life back into hell. Who knows what will happen if they come to know about this act of yours? And your younger sister Kamini? Who will marry her? Even though she is your stepsister, she too will be disgraced because of your action. No, until this matter is over, I will send your younger sister Kamini and your new mother Manisha to her brother's house." After thinking for a while he said, "But if not today or tomorrow, everyone will come to know." Saying this, Gautam sat on the sofa holding his head. Now less anger and more fear could be heard in his voice. But it seemed as if Gautam's tears were turning into sharp words coming out of his mouth. Your husband Kunal had gone to the city within an hour of your marriage. Now when your in-laws come to know about this pregnancy, God knows what they will do. Respect will definitely rise in the society, but we will again get stuck in the same quagmire from where those people had brought us out. I wish you two would be with your mother.